Check one,
Brendan, my
two.
brother.
Check one, two. How you doing, my man?
Yo, I am blessed. How about yourself?
Also, I'm doing well enough anyhow, considering
Yo,
all things, and it's the middle of winter, and I got my playoff beard going. That's how
I
you can.
noticed that. I
That's how you
noticed
can tell.
that.
I
But
noticed it,
what playoff though? This is just like I mean we're a bit early for playoffs, no? Are you talking about
life,
hockey, I'm guessing?
life's a playoff, Christopher.
Okay.
Life's a playoff.
I love that. I love that. So let me just start off with a quick introduction to my audience and as yours
Yeah,
as
of course.
well. This is a show called Friday Full Conversations. This is a third one, and I'm so blessed and honored and happy to have my friend Brendan Love here to talk today about everything that has to do with him being a professional speaker, about being a magician. And let me just start off by saying his name is actually Love. Like Brendan Love is not a stage name. And I don't know if you remember the first time we met, I asked you, I'm like, hey, Brendan, I'm like, is your name actually Love? And you're like, yeah, you showed me your driver's license. And it worked out perfectly because you were actually driving me to a speaking event. So it was like two stones in one. I'm like, all right, cool. He could at least drive me. And his name is Love.
Yeah.
So definitely stuff we're going to be diving into. And my name is Christopher Dedeyan. I am a professional speaker and a peak performance coach as well. So Brendan, let's just dive in right away. First of all, let me know how you're doing. How are things going? Like you kind of touched upon it. How's your life with this whole pandemic and how are you dealing being a magician from distance? Is that something you do? Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Gosh, it's been so long since we've chatted, but yeah, the world is upside down and things have changed and are continuing to change. And the one, I would say things are generally pretty good. The beginning of the pandemic, was challenging for everybody, especially speakers and
Mm-hmm.
performers,
Mm-hmm.
and especially magicians. In a lot of people's minds, magic, and in my mind too, magic is something reserved for being, with people. And there's something special about seeing it under your nose, seeing something really impossible happen under your nose versus on TV or behind a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people felt the pinch and panic, but what's amazing, especially about all people, but magicians especially, is that now some of the best magic being produced is all because of the pandemic. Zoom magic shows are a real thing, and they are. I've seen some phenomenal performers do incredible things that we couldn't even do before we were in this sort of situation. So, with all resilience and the belief in possibility, like not to sound too cheesy, but hey, things are happening. So yeah, we're speaking.
No.
Feedstock project is still flowing along. We've got lots of we've turned our business online and offer trainings for students in video format now, which was something we've wanted to do for years, but never found there was a need or a path to do so. And suddenly a pandemic and people are like, hey, we need stuff online. Okay, so now we've we've created something we've wanted to create, but now kind of forced into it. Anyway, so things are good. Things are good, my friend. Generally speaking, and there's been opportunity in the challenges, which is, of course, the way it's always been, I
The
presume.
silver lining, right? The
Yeah.
silver lining. And I love that. And as you're kind of saying, like, hey, you do Beanstalk Project, which is your company with your business partner. Essentially, you guys go into schools, high schools, and you guys essentially teach these kids in so many different formats and from leadership to how to be a better employee. And obviously, you do certain things with magic as well. And actually, we have over here Maya saying, hey, Brendan has been to my school before, so I'm sure you
Oh
enjoyed
yeah.
it because I've seen him do his tricks. It is amazing. I've seen him speak as well. He's a very eloquent speaker. Like, forget about the magician side. He knows how to command the stage. So that's really amazing. And like I said, I'm somebody that loves everything that has to do with brain science and understand how the brain works, to use it to your advantage, from brain waves to when to do particular things within your work as an entrepreneur. And I understand, obviously, as a magician, it's in some way or shape or form is utilizing the blind spots of the brain and using it to your advantage, or directing the crowd in some way, shape, or form, so you know where they're looking and you could do something in another way. So please talk to me about that aspect as a magician. Is it something you guys study? Is it something you guys learn, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, sure. It's I think to say brain science is misleading, because the rigor of science. But definitely magic is all about the study of how to manipulate perceptions. So, and that's what I like to share with people. I'm sharing magic not just because it's a lot of fun for most, but it reminds us of the limits of our perceptions. Like inevitably, you can be paying close attention during a trick and there's something happening beyond your awareness, right? Which is true. There are blind spots. There are thousands of blind spots, actually. Scientists, as you probably know, psychologists have made lists of cognitive biases, which are all the shortcuts that our brain takes. And there are more than 200 or 300 identified shortcuts, which makes sense because we need to make shortcuts in order to process all of the information around us. We have to make some assumptions, but also those same assumptions get us into trouble. So it's totally the magic is directing attention towards something and away from something else usually, and there's lots of ways to do that, and certainly that's the essence of the study.
And I love what you just said there. Now, my question is, do you guys actually learn those things before being a magician, or it kind of goes like subconsciously you learn it from what has been taught like from years and years? Because you just mentioned some biases that some people have, or just some new neural networks that have been created over the years as the evolution of the brain has evolved through prefrontal cortex or whatever. Is that something you tangibly learn to be a magician, or it just goes subconsciously, you learn it just by doing the tricks?
Yeah, I think the magic becomes the vehicle through which you learn these things. But I didn't learn cognitive biases, and I studied that in school. But I learned in a trick how to create some misdirection, which would get somebody paying attention someplace. And I realized, oh, they're not paying attention over here. So I can do all sorts of stuff.
That is so interesting. And at the same time, we're seeing a lot of people wave and saying the problem solved. So it's super cool for that. Thank you for sticking around. Keep on bringing those hearts. We love seeing that as well. So Brendan, can you show us a trick with our cards before going on? You're like, Chris, do you have a deck of cards? Is there something you can do for us?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned how a lot of magic depends on how much we practice and what we dedicate our time to. And some magicians will spend years, working on one technique with a deck of cards. But what I love about this trick, and some magic actually, isn't necessarily the practice. It's having the eyes to see it. And so what I want to share with you is a trick that has always existed in a deck of cards. It's just only been discovered 20 years ago.
Okay.
So actually, believe it or not, a pack of cards is a lie detector test.
Okay.
Honest to goodness. And I won't do anything to this. You're going to prove this with me. And if anybody's watching has a deck of cards, they could try this out. But and it makes sense, right? You can think of a deck of cards like a computer a little bit, right? There are 52 bits. And if they're organized in a certain way, that's like a program, like a bit of software. Okay. And so when you know the magic spell to initiate the software, the polygraph comes to life. I'm not a polygrapher, but the cards can tell if you're lying or not. Let's put it to test. So what you need to do.
Bro, I'm so excited right now. I don't know. Like, I'm really excited about the way you're presenting it. I'll pull it.
This is the most amazing thing because it's just been in plain sight waiting for somebody to find it. Okay. I think that's like magic is in front of our noses all the time. We just have closed eyes. So give those a little shuffle in your hands.
By the way, I took out the jokers. Is that okay?
That's fine. Oh, yeah, that's great. We're not going to use a whole deck for this, actually. We just need to put in the magic words.
Okay.
Do you know why they call them magic spells?
No.
Literally because you spell them. And as one of my teachers says, the world is made of magic. Once you, the world is made of words. That's the real secret of magic. So what we do is take from the top of the deck, you're going to spell one card for each letter into a pile. The first word, which is lie. L-I-E.
Okay.
Now shuffle them a little bit again, more in your hand. Good. Then you're going to take any card you want from anywhere in the deck. Doesn't matter which one. And you're going to put it down. But before you put it down, this is the card. So look at it burned into your memory.
Okay, so I have to look at it?
Yeah, don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. I don't need to know it. Actually, that's the point. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, look at it. Remember it?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Don't forget it, because in a moment I'm going to invite you to think of other cards, but this is the one you need to remember.
Okay.
Okay, put it down on top of that little pile of cards.
Okay.
Yep. Now give them one last shuffle here. One last shuffle. We've got to put in the last magic word. Good. Whenever you're ready, from the top of the deck, the opposite of lie is the truth.
Oh, the truth, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go one letter, T, R, U, T, H.
Okay.
That's it. You don't need the rest of the cards.
Okay.
Now, in a moment, so pick up that little packet on the table. Your card is lost somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
What I'm going to invite you to do is, using the magic spells, using the program, it will tell us if we're lying or telling the truth. So first of all, we're going to work with the name of your card. The name of your card. All cards have the same first name. They have the same title, actually. Do you know what it is? Like, some people are called Mr., some are called Miss, some are called Doctor, some are called Professor.
Okay.
Cards are called the.
Okay. I was looking for it. I was like, this is going to be tough.
The Queen of Spades. The Two of Hearts, right? So the first one is the. So we take the top card, T with the top card, H, and E.
Okay.
Take the rest of the cards, put it on top.
On top of the three that I dropped?
You got
it.
it. Great. Pick up that packet again.
Okay.
Now, you get an opportunity. You can lie, you can tell the truth, or some combination of the two. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, what is the value of your card? Is it a number or picture? What is the value? Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. You can lie, tell the truth, or some combination of the two.
So it's a picture. Do you want me to tell you which picture?
You can lie, tell the truth, or some combination, but name a specific.
Okay, so it's a king.
A king. King. You could have chosen a different one.
Yeah.
I don't know the cards do. So one for each letter. K, I, N, G.
Okay.
Rest of the cards on top.
So on top of the same that I just dropped. Okay.
That's it. Pick it up again.
Okay.
Okay.
This is gonna get really mixed up.
Now, all cards have the same middle name.
Okay, which is?
Of.
Okay.
Right? The King of Spades, the Two of Diamonds. So you can't lie about that. So we go O, F.
Okay.
Rest of the cards on top.
Okay.
This is getting messy now. We pick it up last time, or second to last time, sorry. Now I want to ask you, what's the suit? And you can lie, you can tell the truth, or some combination of the two.
It's a heart.
Heart. Do you prefer to say heart or hearts with an S?
Without the S? Without
the S. Okay.
Yeah.
So one card for each letter. H, E, A, R, T. Take it and drop it on top. Now pick that pile up. Here's the last question. All along, you could have been making stuff up. You could have been telling the truth, but I don't need to know. The cards already know. This is in the cards. This is the coolest thing. So I'm going to ask you, and even on this question, you can lie or tell the truth or some combination of the two. Did you lie? Did you tell the truth? Or did you choose some combination of the two?
Now, you want me to say this, but I could be lying about this as well.
Absolutely.
I did a combination.
So you did both?
I did both.
Okay. Now let's put one for each letter. B, O, T, H, and put the rest on top.
Okay.
And that's the software. The program's done.
Okay.
Now think about this, right? Had you, even in the last question I asked you, you said both, which is 4 letters.
Yeah.
But if you said I lie, that's 3.
3 letters.
Right? You'd have a different card on top. If you said truth, that would be 5. So you'd have another different card on top. Right? You could have chosen a heart. You could have chosen diamonds. You added the S. You could have said a king. You could have said a 7. All of them are different values, which would move that card somewhere else in the deck. Right?
100%. I'm like excited to flip it over.
What is your card? What was the actual card you chose?
It's a
For
king.
real. Yeah.
It's a king, but honestly, like I forgot what it's called, the pointy one.
Yeah, spades.
Not yeah, spades, not the diamond. Yeah,
The
king of
black one,
spades.
king of spades.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be amazing if the top card of that little pile in front of you was the king of spades?
it would.
Go
Legit,
ahead,
it
have
would.
a look. I don't know.
Okay.
I do nothing.
I'm not looking at it either. We're looking at it together. Oh my god, it's spot on. Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
I didn't do anything. It's
Guys,
in the
put the
cards.
blow mind emoji. Anthony's doing it. I mean, yeah, that's pretty dope. That is
cool?
dope.
Thanks, man. I love it. You do it, right? It's in the cards. That's actually a property of these playing cards. You can test it again later on if you want. Just waiting for someone to discover it.
I'm stupidly staring at the card, thinking like, what happened? It's so great. I'm like legit looking at the card. I'm like what just happened? And you know what? Like, I'm gonna associate this to what you were saying in your TEDx talk. You're like, we have a biases within our brain to try to figure out what is happening instantly as soon as it's pulled up. I'm like, hey, how did it happen? Is it because of certain letters? Is it because the letters are inversible and there's like this order that's impossible? Now, obviously, I'm not asking you to answer that question because you guys keep your secrets and that's amazing. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of stunned and I'm like flabbergasted, honestly. Awesome job. You see, that works phenomenally just through the screen. And as well, you know what I was saying, like the way that you present it and the way you kind of bring it about. And then after the card was done, you did such a great job to be like, hey, we could have said X number of letters and just you brought a visual. So then you're thinking about, oh, right, you're right. And we know what's happening, but you're bringing it to the forefront so we could be even more amazed before the actual draw. I mean, you're just a great performer, honestly.
Oh, thanks, Christopher. Thank you.
Spot on.
I really, that's become my favorite card trick because it's so, I just love that it's in the cards already. I think a deck of cards is such a great metaphor for possibilities. There are more tricks or more books about tricks than there are about any other art form almost, just with a pack of 52. So there's a lot of really metaphorically powerful stuff in that, I think. And that trick, I do nothing. It's all your decisions.
That
so
that
cool,
is
right?
That is amazing. And Brendan, I want to be respectful for your time here, but before we go, I really want to talk about one last thing that kind of, I remember when you mentioned to me, now it's been a couple of years that we haven't seen each other. Last time, like I said, we did a little speaking gig together in Hamilton. I think it was 2018 at this point, like pre-pandemic, obviously.
Yeah.
And you were going to LA, if I'm not mistaken, to like a secret society of magicians. And then when you told me that, I'm a fan of Harry Potter. I'm like, what? Is there like a Harry Potter world that we don't know about magic and all that stuff? What can you tell me about that? Can you tell me some stuff about that? Is it legit? Are you still a member of it? Like, how many people are in it? Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah. That's the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. It's the clubhouse of the Academy of Magical Arts. It's pretty famous, and it's been featured in a bunch of television shows. I think it's famous because it's exclusive. So in Hollywood, it's one of the most exclusive clubs. You have to know a magician member or an associate member to be able to go. So even celebrities can't go without an invitation, which makes it feel like, it's a special place. And it's a super special place. There's magic in every corner, delicious food, great company. Like you walk down the hall and I'll run into a hero of mine, and be totally comfortable having a conversation with that person about a trick or a philosophy or something. Yeah, it's a great place. Unfortunately, with the pandemic in effect, of course, as all things are closed, so is the Magic Castle. They've been able to offer some programming, but we're all waiting for the day when we can go back and hang out.
So that's amazing. So essentially, it's kind of like a society of magicians and kind of a brotherhood. Now, before getting there, I'm sure you have to kind of be a magician. So here's my question. And sorry, maybe for the ignorance or not, but how do you learn magic when magicians don't necessarily tell your trick? Or are you guys open to kind of mentor somebody that you're like, hey, he's not just asking to know what's happening and he's actually into the craft or being a magician or whatever the case is?
Yeah, I think you said it right there. If somebody wants to learn to perform, I'm happy to teach them. If somebody wants to learn the secret, well, that's actually I'm not helping you by giving you the secret. I keep secrets for the audience, not from them.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's generally, you know, like I'll offer to teach people a trick, and then I'll say, go and do it, go perform it, come back to me, show me what you've got, and then we'll learn the second trick and I'll teach you something else, which is how I've had to learn and earn my way through it. It's like, there's something to be said for putting in that sweat equity, and, you know, it's earns respect, and people will happily teach those who want to work, you know.
That makes perfect sense. Just that example in the beginning, and I don't know if people caught it because it was in the when we had an issue previously. That little the 25 cents you pulled out and you caught it with a tweezer. I mean, you have to show that, hey, you're actually putting in the effort. So the sweat equity that you mentioned over there is 100% valuable. And then you'll see, hey, do I actually have a mentoree that wants to learn this art form that you're essentially very passionate about? I mean, there's no other way. You have to be passionate to put in the hours and to be doing what you're doing. But you know what? I feel like the payoff is worth it. That like half a second you just gave me of like my heart's beating and I'm like, oh my God, it's in the card. It was just amazing. So Brendan, like I said, man, I don't want to take more of your time. It was amazing. Sorry for little technical issues.
Well, Christopher, actually, I don't want to take up your time, but I actually am working on something also new, and I thought I want to include this in my show one day. Do you have a few extra minutes? Could I try something with it? You can know is a good
100%,
answer.
100%. Let's go for it.
No is a good answer, but I really want to put this in. I've been working on ways of influencing people to do certain things or choose certain cards or think in a certain way. And so what I want to try with this is I want to get you to think. I'm going to write something down here. I don't want you to read my pen to think that you know what I'm writing.
I'm dyslexic, so even that, like, it would be tough to remember.
Okay, fair. Okay. I've written something down here. It's a 3-digit number.
Okay.
It's a 3-digit number. I want you to take a guess at the first number, but first of all, clear your mind. Yeah. Good. Now, between 2 and 10, it's not 1 or 2. Between 2 or 10, what do you got?
Do you want me to tell you the number of what it is, the first one?
Yeah, the first one. What's the first digit? Pops in your mind now.
3.
3.
Yeah. Oh, somebody else wrote 3 too.
Scotty.
Scotty. Like 3. We're on the same page, Scotty.
So, okay, fantastic. That means there's a good chance. Was that visual or did you hear it?
Visual.
Visual, totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Christopher, I want you to think of the next digit, but I'm going to say something, and you don't have to, just let me say it, and then let something come to your mind, okay?
Okay.
So it goes 1, 2, buckle my shoe, blank 4, unlock the door. Blank 4, unlock the door. What number? The obvious number is 3, but you don't have to. You don't have to say 3. You can say any number you want. What number do you want to say?
I want to say 6.
6. Again, visual that popped into your mind.
A bit of both. I had another number. I had this one, so I'm kind of toying around with it.
Okay. Last one. Last digit. So far, I think this is going great. Last digit. I want you to think of a somebody. It could be somebody close to you, a friend or family member, and imagine them over your shoulder.
Okay.
Over your shoulder. They're leaning in.
Okay.
And they bring their hand over their mouth and they whisper to you the final digit.
Yeah.
They whisper to you the final digit of that 3-digit number. 3, 6, and the final digit?
8.
8. Now, that was something you heard, something random, made up. How did you get 8?
I mean, I pictured my mom, and she's born on the 8th.
Oh, okay. So natural fit.
Natural fit, 100%.
Amazingly, and I'm not gonna we're not gonna do anything funny here. Watch this on the count of 3. 1. You said the number was 368. 368. Look.
Nah, homie. Nah, homie. How's that even possible? How's that even possible? That's crazy. That is crazy. How's that even a thing? How's that even a thing? Like, how did that happen? How did you just pull that up?
So glad that worked.
Happen?
So glad that worked.
I mean, okay, for people that just spotting on, he took a paper, because there's some people that just came on, and he wrote a number without showing me, and then he asked me some questions, and I gave the number one by one. That's exactly what it was. You know what I'm thinking right now? Have you seen the movie with Will Smith and Margot Robbie? They're like thieves. No?
Oh,
It's gonna
yeah.
be tough. It's gonna be a tough reference if you don't know what it is. But anyways, throughout the movie, they go and they essentially they're hustlers and they make somebody bet a certain number, and the guy bets the number that they want, and he wins a lot of money. And then they're like, "How do you guess that that's what he was gonna do?" And he's like, "The whole day we were presenting that number to him, which was
Yeah.
44, if I remember correctly, and he made him bet on that and whatever. He kind of directed it. So I mean, Ben, did you direct my mind to pick certain numbers in the way that you were kind of telling me things, or what's happening here?
Is it, what a wonderful question to ask. Hey?
Okay. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay, I'm happy with that answer. I'm happy with that. That is crazy.
Thanks for letting me play a little bit more with you, pal. I appreciate that. That's first run of trying to do that with somebody in a setting like this. So totally great feedback. Looking forward to building a show.
Brandon, I mean, for people who know me, they usually know that I don't stop talking, and I like in French we say "je bouge bée." Like I don't know what to say. I'm like so flustered right now. I'm like trying to think two tricks like back to back that I'm just flustered out of my mind. So, man,
Right on,
the
man.
second your show's on, I don't know if it's something you're gonna sell, buy, there's live. Please let me know. I would love to kind of let my audience know about that, and as well just kind of let my audience know where we could go see your stuff, where they can connect with you as well. Before doing that, I'm definitely going to suggest my audience to go check out your TEDx speech, which was amazing. So where's the best way to kind of reach out to you?
Yeah, Brandon Love Magic is the place to find me. You can find my tag here. Also, BrandonLoveMagic.com.
Awesome, my brother. So Brendan, once again, this was amazing. I feel like we're definitely going to do this again. Hopefully next time we'll be able to do it face-to-face live, and we'll be even more enjoying the magic aspect. But man, it was a true pleasure, and we'll speak very soon, my brother.
Thanks for having me, man. Take care.
All right, likewise. All right, ciao, ciao.